A lot.
Fireboy has had his fair share of that. But Asake being like the newest member to this group, and also but ever since his breakout season, like every song or majority, about 80% of his songs, number one spot. How do you think that would affect the dynamics of the record label? Considering Olamide is a boss boy, is also
an artist.
So
looking at them, they are even like quite few in number compared to YBNL of before.
Hey guys, it's your boy Salman here on Gusto Reactions. You know how we do it here, reacting to the trending, hottest, baddest, everything, gist, anything you can think of. We're here to react to it. You can hear me stamping my feet. Hey, I don't drop like, I'm going to start this thing again. How have we done the first key, guys?
Hi guys, it was good.
Was good. I hope you guys had an amazing weekend. Just type in the comment section. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Well, moving on today, we're talking about a very, very vast, platform. I'm talking about Apple Music today. But before we get into it, here, just follow me for vibe with me on this one.
All right.
So, like, we know how the music industry. Let me take it back so people don't get misled. You know how the music industry is. Over the years, before we had the whole thing of charting and getting to number one on Apple Music or number of streams, it's probably just airplay, right? How long does your song get on radio and visual YouTube platforms, YouTube views and stuff like that. But now we have the likes of Apple Music, Spotify streams, Audiomack, Tonti, all this. There's a lot of charts. So now, relating to that, we're talking about record labels and their members and how well they perform, how everybody gets to get that limelight. So now going into that, let's move into Mavin, for instance. Mavin is one of the leading record labels in Nigeria right now. If you think record labels in Nigeria, in Africa, Africa. Once you think record labels, but let's just, we're talking about Nigeria right now.
Let's keep it on.
If you think record labels in Nigeria, if not the first,
like top 3.
Yeah, top 3. So we think Mavins, they've done amazing with their people, and this is like the current Mavin members, artists, and signees, right? Yeah, about how many of them? 1, 2, 3,
10.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. With Don Jazzy 10. Well, they're celebrating Mavins at 10 currently. Kudos to them on that one. But a couple of these artists, they easily when they drop tracks, they easily make top 10, right? Or number 1. We're talking about number 1. They easily make number 1. But
Apple Music.
Yeah, on Apple Music. Okay, I want to limit it to Apple Music now. So thank you very much for that. Sorry, you guys stay tuned. There's a lot of talk on this one. But like, how easy do you think it is for, all of them to get to that number 1? Because, last year we had Latipo, we feeling with the buzz, everything, number 1. Arasta dropped our 19 and Dangerous album. She didn't really hold number 1. She charted, but she charted, Well, like this year, she's been doing amazing. At least Rush got to number 1, her first single for the year. But like, there are some artists here that, didn't get that much limelight shed on them. Yeah, and they were signed almost at the same time or like a very, very short time interval. What do you think about that? This is a very, very reputable record label, but all their signees are not, they are doing well, but they're not just getting like as much, the mainstream, main buzz.
Yeah, looking at looking at life in general, even like let's like digress a bit to parents and siblings and all of that. Even twins, bro, no be Tai and Coin, no be two of them they do the same thing, no be like one like there's a situation whereby the first would get to an institution before the other one, and there are situations whereby they would want to wait for each other to go together and all of that. Mavin Records, 9 signings, let's say 8 artists, right now signed. Rema, Aresta, Ladipo, Johnny Drill, Crayon, Boy Spice, Bayani, Magix. All of these guys have dropped songs, let's say in the space of 1 year, aside from Bayani that just recently signed. Bayani
dropped an
EP, but then like didn't even like penetrate, and it didn't touch so much. Aside from people that are quite familiar with the online trends, vibing to, trending songs. They were the one that, jumped on me. If you still go on the streets, a lot of people would not know who Bayani is.
Yes.
Like, that's a fact. Magic's to some extent, some people would know him because of Love Don't Cost a Dime. But then if let's take out, the online, presence of these guys, there's like really not so much you can attribute to a lot of them. Rema obviously is a big boy. Like that's like the biggest artist right now. In Mavin. Then Arya Star is also doing very well for herself. Johnny Drew, because he's been around for a while.
Conservative.
Like he's been around for over 8 years now. He's been doing it. He's been around since the time of them Korede Bello.
Yeah.
I remember Dorobuchi time and everything. Johnny Drew was, around all those era. So you can say that, okay, because of that, his name is like an household name already. So people, even though they don't listen to his music, they know where Johnny Drew is. A Crayon, here and there.
Turn off.
He's hot today.
Tomorrow he's just there.
On the other side, Ladipo too, he's been around for a while. Same as Johnny Drew, they came in together, that year and everything, and they've been doing, really well for themselves. Everyone in a label would not get that number one spot. Like, let's be really factual with ourselves. There's always, we are all humans and fingers are not equal. The way they would push a song for one person would be different from the way they push for another person, different from the way they would push for another person, and it goes on like that. And all of these strategies here, they result into the thing that we see, in the front end, like chatting, doing well on TikTok, and all of those numbers that these songs get. Now, for their bigger artists, they tend to spend more on them compared to the younger ones, because if you think about it, if I spend 5 million on Rema, it is guaranteed that I'll get 25 million back. But if I spend 5 million on a new boy, I may likely not get anything. So it is business. Looking at the fact that they want to make them big and all that, but the company will also have to think about the cost of doing all of these things, and there are a lot. Aside from what they make, they get label housing allowances, wardrobe, and all of those things. So it is a business. Regardless of what it is, not everybody will get that big shine. Like, no cap.
Wow.
Like, let's just not cap at all. Not everybody will get that big shine. So it is not a bad thing, so to say.
Okay. Well, another record label that would come to mind is YBNL, and they are also, at their 10th years since they started. And right now we have Olamide,
the trifecta,
Asake, and Fireboy. These three, now Olamide being the boss, Olamide obviously has gotten number one various times.
A lot.
Fireboy has had his fair share of that. But Asake being like the newest member to this group, and also but ever since his breakout season, like every song, or majority, about 80% of his songs, number one spot. How do you think that would affect the dynamics of the record label? Considering Olamide is a boss boy, is also
an artist.
So
looking at them, they are even like quite few in number compared to YBNL of before, where they used to be like 5, 6, 7. You can tell the same thing that was happening with Mavin, because then there was Victor, there was Chinkwekun, there was Lil Kesh, there was Olamide. Before Fireboy came, there was Adekunle Gold. But the guys that were like buzzing with Adekunle Gold, Lil Kesh, Victor, like a crayon, is in and out and everything. But Ishinkwe, despite the talent and everything, like he never really got that major, mainstream thing. That's like one of the disadvantages of having so much, guys together. They are like, it's not easy to manage everybody. You get me? But right now we have Fireboy and Asake. And Olamide as the boss, I say, okay, I don't do this thing for over the years. Let me just, take the back seat, because we cannot be spending money on Fireboy, spending money on Asake. And me, where I don't day. You get me? I still want to spend money. So make I just do it and let it, whatever it's going to do, let it do by itself naturally. But the other guys, they get to, push them to, do what they want to do. So I think in YBNL, Olamide is the one getting the backseat because the boys are buzzing, so he's making money, so why would he stress?
Okay. Now moving on as well, we have Chocolate City, is one of the bigger boys in terms of record label as well. And there are two frontliners, Black Bones and Young John. Now we know the one with the
I think MI
surprisingly MI, but like MI being the boss,
like fully.
But let's take these two for instance. Now Young John has been a producer over the years, right? Yeah. Working with Olamide most of the time, YBNL family, and then Black Bones has also been, in the music industry for quite some time now. These two have been doing amazing, and this guy just started singing and he's all over the place, charting #1. How do you think this affects the record label, considering like, this is a producer transition into a singer, whereas we have a singer, a rapper, that's been around. How do you think they manage this situation?
Chocolate City, I would leave their own. I would leave their own on the. I think the guys have like sub-management, Young John and Black Bones that are running their P. Black Bones is his own PR. You know how he goes around to do his stuff.
So you think the record label might probably just be like an affiliation kind of thing?
Yeah. So for Black Bones, it's more like, okay, I did Chocolate City but then let me run my thing like the way I want to do it. I think that's been the agreement from the start, and they've stuck by what he wants. Remember the time he dropped Abba, it was disturbing everybody going around the street with megaphones and everything to get what he wanted, and the song got to #1. I remember the other time too that I disturbed Burna Boy, Baba leave this thing for me and everything. Burna Boy posted him and then he got to #1. So is his own normal, is his own PR for Black Bones. But Young John is new, is fresh in the industry as an artist, but he's been around for a while as a producer. So I think there's been more of the push for a Young John than a Black Bones. Looking at the things that we are seeing right now. Even though regardless, he's getting the love from people organically and all that, but then we know as these things they go behind stage. So for them it is still fair because they're just two, and then both of them are doing well. Black Bones, his album is really doing well. Back in uni, top 10 song. Young John Extra Cool, #1, his solo #1. The other one was the one with Davido. She got to #1, so not doing bad.
Okay, now a very not controversial, but a very calm, people. Now Empawa as well. Mr Eazi, running his thing.
Done easy.
Now, because the one I'm putting it this way, each record label has their own struggles and how they manage their artists or members, and in relation to the whole charting system, which is why we're having this conversation right now. Just in case you guys don't know, that is exactly why we're having this conversation, because when you consider like the Mavins we started with, for instance, you think they have this amazing artists, amazing singers, talented people, but some people, it seems like, I remember after Bayani, Boy Spice just came in, then Bayani, then Arasta took all everything when she was gonna drop her deluxe and single. So it kind of had people thinking, what's up now? You people did not even let this guy shine as much, right? And funny how during that time period, the space of Boy Spice, Bayani, and Arasta, Magic's dropped an EP.
Exactly.
And most people don't know. So it's like, okay, that's why we're having this conversation right now. So fast track to Empawa right now. We have Mr Eazi, Joe Boy, and Fave. These are like the frontliners of considering that, okay, Mr Eazi, now people think he hasn't resigned from singing. I feel like he's still struggling.
Right now for me, I even think Mr Eazi is a full-time businessman.
Everybody knows he has this entrepreneurial vibe, right? But bad as in bad, Mr Eazi, yes, his breakout year was amazing. It was everywhere. Skin tight, Banku lights, very everywhere. We had that was when we were having the Ghana Afrobeats vibe. Yeah, she did all those kind Madu value vibes. But ever since the controversy he had, prior to creating the Empawa record label, it kind of seemed like he's been struggling to get his footing back in Nigerian music industry. But then, okay, business-wise, signed Joe Boy, and now there is a Fave, which these two, they're doing amazing. They've got into number one a couple of times. At least Fave with Baby Reading.
Yeah,
and,
Baby Reading.
Joe Boy definitely number one a couple of times.
Yeah.
Mr. Eazi, ever since the controversy, he hasn't made number one. So how do you think it is managing this? We had the Olamide, okay, take backs based on that. I want to calm down for my guys. We had Mavin Boss not really doing much because like he stopped singing after the new generation. Chocolate City MI not really in the music scene.
Like that.
But Mr. Eazi is still, like, you can see that he's still trying to, have his foot in there. So how do you think he manages this situation?
I think for Eazi, right now, looking at his life right now, I think he's just doing music for leisure. Okay. He's just using it to pass time because man makes a lot of money. He's as rich as he's partnering with, he's sponsoring Ghana, Football Federation already.
Wow.
At this point, he has a lotto company in Ghana, Empawa Lotto. And then this, the Empower, thinking that got Joe Boy and Fave in was more of trying to support artists. I think Joe Boy was like the winner of the first, round of that year. And then he said that, do you want me to shoot a video for you or give you $5,000? And then Joe Boy made his choice, and it's like seems to be a right choice for him because right now it is what has brought him to this point. Fave also, style of music is very different. But then regardless, because of the, Empower name, the, Mr. Eazi babe, girl, and all of that, his babe, Mr. Eazi's, girl, it's like also, gave her, a thing. And then she's also, talented. She got the voice, is in it for her. So I think Mr. Eazi is not really bothered as much. Patek is his latest song, and the song is happening, to do well, so at the moment. So I think for Eazi, it's just from the angle of, I don't do my own for music. Make the new boys come down. Once I go, they give una. He said the album is coming. A year don't end now. He has not dropped another album again. So he's just chilling and living his life. That's for him. All right.
And now, last but not the least, DMW. DMW. Now everybody knows this is a very tight gang.
Yeah.
It's everybody gas chop. Everybody gas collect.
Yeah.
Now, recent and mainstream signings. Peruzzi, Ido West. Right, but we still have we had a couple of people. There was Mayokun.
At some point, I even think that Peruzzi too is not signed. Ido West too is not signed. So for DMW,
it's just affiliation.
Yeah, for DMW,
last person use my name, use my.
You get me? Use my brand, to
okay. Seems like we're not going into deep covers. So DMW is
more like Davido right now,
Davido.
Because Leah too was signed, but eventually I heard it's okay. Affiliation also, they just
carry on join body.
You get me? Then indeed I was like, okay, said to be signed. Nothing really for him. So DMW right now is just Davido, and Davido it is.
Okay, well Davido our number one spot. And do like this. Now we have independent artists as well, people that are not really signed to any major label per se, or probably just doing their own thing with their own subsidiary, just doing their own thing basically. We have Thames, we have Omale, we have Bella Shmurda, there's a couple of Buju, we have this guy that sang Ferrari, Abi Maserati, Olakira. There's a lot of Majid. Okay, Majid is signed to Empower now.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people that, that are buzzing but are not under any record label. How do you think it's harder for them to, make that get that number one spot, to chart that? Do you think it's harder without the record label influence?
For indie artists, I think that on this question. For indie artists, is it harder for them to chart or not?
I don't think it's favorable, not having competition.
Not being in a label that is, with
has to consider
other guys. Well, for indie artists, the only challenge they have is, the money to spend. Like a label, for instance, now they'll be the one to do the funding for everything and all of that. But then independent artists, bro, you are going to spend that's why Bella Shmurda was lamenting about the album. Say, bro, album no easy because he knows how much he spent, his time, collaborations, all of those things. So for independent artists, they just have to put in more work to get the spot. But then it's not impossible for them. We've seen independent artists get to the top spots with their songs, and they've really done well. But then it's just more of they have to like put in extra work. They have to, aside from just singing, they have to also spend, money to get, to get some privileges and opportunity come their way. But labels, like, now I'm label, okay, no, I'll make it enter. I just do it, I mean, come on, no, and I guess, that kind of thing.
Well, now to the final question of the day. Sorry, guys. Thank you for sticking with us this far. You know that this is a very, very, in total reactions. So basically, now with Apple Music and the charting system.
Yeah.
Do you think it is biased to some record labels or some artists, or you think like we all know how distribute? Maybe not all of us, but us, in the scene, we know how distribution and just the songs penetrate mainstream media.
Yeah.
But like, do you think Apple Music is? I wouldn't say they are intentionally making it biased.
Yeah.
But there are some people that would drop songs. This song is going to chart.
Yeah.
There are some record labels that. So in terms of record labels and artists, whether they are own artists and independent artists, how do you think the charting system favors them? Or, is it disadvantage to them?
So looking at Apple Music, that we're using as a yardstick. I think over the year, like for some 3-4 years now, there's been a new pattern that Apple Music is using. I remembered Ladipo's time. That was when Buju was also buzzing. Any song Buju was on was always getting to number one. That was like, so Buju got, the love from Apple Music. And then it switched to Omale. Every of Omale's songs, was like getting to number one. No, Omale was 2 years ago. Buju was last year. Before Ashake.
Yes.
So
Omale was during lockdown.
Yeah, during the lockdown 2020. Through that, everything, any Omale like this, boom, it was just going to number one. Like, and it got featured in a lot of playlists. So like, I think they also have a way of realizing that this person is talented. Like, this music is unique, is fresh, is new. So let's also support it so that it'll be like, at the end of the day, they'll be like, oh, Apple Music, thank you, Apple Music. And everything. Like, Whiskey would always say, thank you, Apple Music, a lot of time. So Omale, and then they switched to Buju. Everything Buju was on. That it was one that made, this confident song became really big. It was because of the Buju influence. And this year is Ashake. Yeah. Everything Ashake has been on. And Ashake has been so wise not to do a lot of collaborations, man. Because he's realized that, okay, Apple Music, I say Apple Music get pattern, I'll say, make I just the chop am for my own self. Apart from the one with Olamide, there's just been, then Sungba with Burna Boy. Others has just been, features. Features. But then there are not like a lot of feature like the Buju time or collaboration like the Buju time. Omale also was like majorly Omale at that point. So right now, Ashake is the one getting that buzz. And for Apple Music, once one artist, have been focused on by them, like the other artist gets more support from them other than the other, artists. Aside from the big boys, that big boys, they are big boys, regardless of whoever Apple Music is supporting. Them Whiskey, Davido, Burna Boy, like standard, like they are the top 3, and whatever it is they do would always get that number one spot, even though it's going to be for a short while. Well, he go still reach there at that point.
Like you said, you've made a very, very good point and a very, very good argument. I think just like the way you started, Apple Music, they have this insight on saying, okay, who's going to buzz, who has a unique talent, and who has this thing. And prior to now, that I think the charting is based on streams.
It's based on streams.
Before, it was based on creating a playlist. Who would people want to listen to?
Exactly.
Which is why, you get the number one spot. Like Omale's period, it wasn't for streams.
No.
We all know, like, it wasn't streams. It was more like, this is the unique voice. This is the unique vibe. This is everybody's loving right now. Okay, having a large database, and this guy happens to, show up on almost everybody's playlist. Yeah. So let's just throw him out there, number one. Buju as well, with the collaborations, with the hooks. Like
everybody wants to feature this
guy. So put him there. Let's put him there. But right now, we can see how much it could have been like a strategy for them to, or now you have to work with streams to, get them. We know how much Arasta's Rush struggled to get to number one.
And you could see that okay, was as a result of the challenge, everything
different things that
label has done, right from 10 to 7 to 6, and gradually was climbing up. Unlike a song that drops now and then boom,
number one
now, that okay.
Well, that is the whole essence of, this conversation, basically, because, people would be like, in terms of arguments or something, people would be like, oh, number one, the song did number one. That means it sold more, it performed more, it was more successful. But Apple Music has had that, at least to the best of my knowledge, they've had that, the affiliation of, this is the person that's buzzing, this is this thing. But now it is based on streams. It's based on charting, like, this person has sold so copies. This person has been streamed on
this place and this place.
So yeah, they put it out there. Well, with that, I hope you guys have been, enlightened on the whole Apple Music charting system. So when you see top 100, now it is based on streams. It's based on, how much they've put into distribution, how much they've put into marketing, and how much the record label or individual artist is spending on that song, in promoting that song to, get to number one. Because easy, whether you're an upcoming watching this right now or an individual artist, or you're signed to record label, this is we're basically giving you guys the secret of Apple Music while opening their yash in public. So you guys, let us know what you think about our thoughts, our own opinions. Let us know what you think in the comment section. If you agree or disagree, or you have some insights that we don't know, let us know in the comment section. And until we see you in the next video, I remain your boy Salman and Donny Fesky.